Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. That's right. I'm not yelling it. I'm fucking up my voice doing that every goddamn week. I'm starting to drink throat coat tea. And podcast. I need to take care of myself in these next chapter. As I peel off another layer of the onion. I need to take care of. And I'm like, you know what? I need to clean up my act a little bit. All right? It's time to grow up. And so one of the first things I'm going to do, like, I'm not cutting out the booze. I'm just going to stop yelling. I'm checking in on you. You know, it's baby steps. You know, and I'll gradually one of the first things work towards laying off the heroin, you know? But I like it. It helps me, helps me go to sleep. You know, the amount of times that I always want to take a nap when I'm standing up outside in public, and I just can't do it because my mind just won't shut off, you know? That's when the heroin comes in. That's when it comes into play. You're going to have to listen to my phone ding-donging because I got a phone call coming up and I don't want to miss it here. Up. And I also don't have his iconic success. Yeah, other than that, I think it's the exact same thing. But anyways, I had family coming.
Alrighty, so looks like I got a shitload of echo coming from Facebook. Every time I say anything and I can't mute it. So, alrighty. And I just keep hearing myself over and over again. So it's going to be a little weird for a bit. So it's kind of a little test. And we'll see. I do not like this at all. Let's see if I'm still up. Am I still up? Am I still here? I am here. Alrighty, so we're going to be sculpting up some Yoda. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any. I'm going to be listening to some Bill Burr while I work and going to let y'all listen to that too. So
I won't do that.
Enjoy.
I'll just buy really comfortable. I'll keep wearing the golf clothes that I wear. They'll just get bigger, you know? I'll get into the John Daly line. I'm back on it. I'm back on it. Jumped on the scale today, 178.8. Still unacceptable. I have been having the worst fucking time trying to get down to my fighting weight. I wanted to be 172 by my birthday. My 49th. The end of the 40s, wrapping it up. If I was a professional athlete, I would be 10 years retired unless I was Tom Brady with my sinewy muscles or whatever the fuck he's doing with his spongy muscles. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry, I'm drinking the throat coat. Oh, Jesus, Bill, you're just annoying on so many different levels today. I apologize. So anyways, I'm going to try to just lay off the booze, for a little bit. I'm going to San Francisco this weekend, and I'm working with fucking my Dean Martin, Joe DeRosa. Okay, so that's gonna be a mulligan that night. My friendship with Joe DeRosa and his friendship with me is one of the great friendships in show business history, and it's all alcohol fueled. You know, I don't think we've ever hung around each other sober, and I don't think I got to get him on the podcast. I really got to get old fucking Joe DeRosa, whatever his background is. Egyptian, Italian, he doesn't know. That man was left at a doorstep of a funny bone way back in 1977, I believe. He showed up out of nowhere. A baby nobody wanted. He came out of the womb already wearing those dark framed glasses. That's sad. That's sad. Anyways, plowing ahead. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that from old Joey. I'm guessing 2 drinks in. Hey, dude, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. I know you were just joking, but, to bring that up, it's just really... fuck him. He trashed my dog on stage. Oh, and that's coming out. 4th drink in. I'm trying to guess where the argument's going to come from this weekend while I drink with Joe. We really don't argue anymore. Once I discovered fair enough, I grew up a little bit, he grew up a little bit, and that's all we do. We start to argue, and then one of us just goes, hey, fair enough. And we laugh, and it just diffuses everything. Fair enough. Fair enough can stop wars. You know what I mean? This is our borderline. No, we think it's that. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. I understand why you would think that, but I mean, fair enough. Well, are you going to give it to us? Well, yeah, I didn't say that. Well, then I'm going to fucking start shooting. Hey, fair enough. I mean, if that's what you feel you need to do. It just diffuses the other guy. And then the other guy's standing there going like, no, you're supposed to get mad. Then you get mad, and then I get mad, and then I lie to my people, and you lie to your people. We dehumanize each other, and then we start shooting. Stop saying fair enough. All right, fair enough. Anyways, did anybody watch the Penguins versus the fucking Predators? I'll tell you something about these Penguins from Pittsburgh is they know how to fucking win a goddamn series. Jesus Christ. The Predators in an 0-2 hole. For those of you bad at math, when it's best 4 out of 7, you're down 0-2. That means you have to win 4 of the next 5. Oh, the coach isn't going to tell you that. What's he going to say? All right, guys. All right, boys. We got to take it one game at a time. Okay? These guys cross the hall in that locker room. They put their skates on one boot at a time. Okay? We got to start winning the battles. Take it one period at a time. Dude, they are beating the shit out of Sidney Crosby this playoff series. This playoff run. I don't know what he did to the refs, but they are done protecting that guy. They're slashing him. They're hooking him. They're fucking hitting him in the head. Anything that they can do. I don't know. I think that they should have brought a goon up or something. Somebody to do something. I don't know. But anyways, how about fucking Malkin's goal? Absolute fucking sniper. And I know that they pulled old Pedo Tube there, whatever his fucking name is. For some reason, I can't remember his goddamn name. Pecorino. What the hell's his name? Jesus, I can't. Cocksucker? I can't remember. It's something about a dick. Is the Predator. I fucking watched every game, and I still can't remember his name. The fuck is his name? Is it Pecorino? Was that the guy from San Jose? Was he on San Jose? And then he went to Nashville. Once I stopped collecting cards, and I turned to Scotch, I've never been able to handle the names anymore. But anyways, I don't give a fuck who you are. Ken Dryden, Patrick Waugh, Terry Sawchuk, nobody stops that fucking puck. That was an absolute filthy fucking goal. So my prediction way back in the day, what did I say? What did I say before I flip-flopped and said Ottawa was gonna win Game 7? Before I did that, I said the Penguins were going to win the whole thing. So when it happens, I'm going to ignore the fact that I thought Ottawa was going to come back and win Game 7 because I was questioning the goaltending in Pittsburgh. I'm going to ignore all of that. And I'm going to pull a Paul Verzi and say, dude, what did I say? Dude, I called it. Just out of, jealousy, I want to see the Predators tie up this series. Not jealousy, just out of like selfishness. I want to see the NHL season go as many games as possible. But though I'll tell you right now, the way the Penguins are playing, I don't even see this going back to Pittsburgh. We'll see. Something incredible has to. How about I don't know who the fuck shot the goal? That babyface kid there. That was like the puck had eyes. There was one little fucking just puck-sized space for a split second between old Pekapinas there, whatever his name is. It just opened up for half a second. The puck literally turned sideways like some Matrix shit and went in the goal. I remember when I saw it live, I was like, how the fuck did that go in? I don't know, man. I'll tell you, the hockey gods are smiling down in Pittsburgh right now. Who knows? We'll see what sort of home ice advantage they have. But and also the NBA playoffs, not playoffs. The final starts tonight. Is that the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final, or is it the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Final? I think it's the NBA Finals. Every time I say something stupid, my phone rings. That's it right there. Does a little bing. All right, I have a call here in fucking, let's see, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to hit pause here. It's not going to matter to you guys because I'll just pick it up, I'll give you 10 minutes of silence like I'm trying to do something artsy. That starts tonight. I don't know. I don't have a feeling on this one. I want the Cavaliers to win. I want the Cavaliers to win because I still feel like they don't get their respect. People aren't talking about them like they are the defending NBA champions. And it's because Durant went to the Warriors. I think that's why nobody seems to be able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Just to be able to see like, hey, not for nothing, these guys beat those other guys last year. So I hope they keep disrespecting them because I always root against the pylon team, And I even did it with the Red Sox in 2007. I don't even think I watched the World Series. Obviously, I was happy that we won. Obviously, I'd rather see us win than the fucking Colorado Rockies. But I was just like, that's not competition. Having said that, when the basketball and hockey season ends, okay, I'm getting the MLB package, and I'm watching my $210 million Red Sox, who are in second place, 3 games behind the evil empire that has nothing but their own homegrown talent. And I'm going to watch that collision course and see how that goes. I've learned this is what you have to do if you're a sports fan with some family back east. Baseball is such a great sport, but the problem is almost the first half of the season is the most exciting time in basketball and hockey. And your emotions as a fan are so heightened, even if your team is out of it, just to watch, there's always something great happens in the final, unless, the fucking ref called 38 fouls on one team and 15 on the other. Then it sucks. Letting it go. And then all of a sudden it's over. And then you're settling in. Just a bit outside. Beautiful day for a ball game. I'll tell you, his on-base percentage is .645, and he's really seeing the ball right now. Kip, you played the game. What was it like when you when you hit a zone like this? Well, I'll tell you, when you hit a zone like this, that ball, your eyes are as big as Christmas, and it's like you just sticking the bat out there, and the ball's going where it wants to go, but. And how do you try to stay in that zone? How do you try to keep it going? Well, it's one of those things you can't control it. you learn as you mature as a player to just try to enjoy those moments. And, well, you hope it goes as long as it can. But eventually it is going to swing back to the other way. And you just hope that that's as, that the slump doesn't last as long. So, you can keep your house in that gold-digging whore that you met in Tulsa when you were coming up in AAA that you knocked up and you don't really love. But you like her. You're hanging in there for the kid. You got to settle into that. So what you need to do is you got to just immediately, you got to slow everything the fuck down. And what you have to do is you got to watch a day game. You got to keep score while you smoke a cigar. You get your lineup, you get it all ready to go. You just fucking sit there and you light the cigar about the third inning. And you just sit there and you fucking, maybe even on the radio, listen to it on the radio, and it's like sports yoga. You just have to totally just calm your mind, fucking relax, and then slide into the dog days of baseball, right? And then you ride that out for about 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden it's NFL preseason, all right? And as the preseason comes along, you're excited about football because every week's exciting because they only play 16 games. Right? But baseball's also ramping up. So then when September comes along, it's like April, May, June with basketball and hockey. Because now it's like you're so excited. Oh, fuck. NFL football, college football, it's coming back. I have a reason to live, right? And the baseball race is heating up before you go in with Joe Buck and all the great October baseball. That's how you do it, all right? So these next 6 weeks after the finals are over, I'm telling you, I'll walk you through it on the podcast. You pick a couple of alternative sports. Maybe you watch a little Roland Garros, a little Wimbledon. You get into Formula One, maybe a little MotoGP, right? I don't know what the fuck you got to do. It's not my business. It's none of my business. What time is it? 9:55. Let's see if I can read advertising in 5 minutes. I don't think I can do it, especially when I got to type in my goddamn password. The family back east. Kidding. All right, what do we got here? Love Supreme. All right, where are you? Indochino. Talk about how every man looks better in a suit. When I'm checking out a fella, I love boy shorts just like the next guy. But what really turns me on is a nice, sharp-looking fella in a suit. You know what I mean? Grab him by his tie. All right, Indochino is making it easy to get a perfectly tailored suit at an incredible price. You can choose from hundreds of top-quality fabrics and personalize your suits. Get your fucking initials on the pocket. Just the way you want it. This is Bill's suit. Whether it's for work, a wedding, or another special occasion, Indochino has suited up hundreds of thousands of men and are now the largest made-to-measure menswear brand in the world. Here's how it works. Visit a showroom or shop online at Indochino, INDOCHINO.com. Like the Indigo Girls if they went to China. Indochino. Pick your fabric. I went to the warehouse. I picked out a fucking suit. I went with a 3-piece. I tucked away my man tits. Choose your customizations from lapels to pleats to jacket linings and more. Submit your measurements, place your order, and wait for it to arrive in just a few weeks. This week, my listeners can get any premium Indochino suit for just $379 at Indochino.com when entering Burr at checkout. That's 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure premium suit, plus shipping is free. That's Indochino.com, promo code Burr for any premium suit for $379 in free shipping. Incredible deal for a suit that will fit you better than anything off the rack ever could. 957. How many more do I got? I got 2 more to go. 5-4 Club. Yo, you like a short bitch? This is the 5-4 Club. I'm kidding. Looking good doesn't need to cost a fortune. 5-4 Club is revolutionizing the way men stop. At 5-4 Club, They found a way to make a great looking clothes affordable for everyone. Fivefold Club also understands that your time is extremely valuable. Why waste it at the mall or wandering around in stores? Each month they send you a curated box of 2 to 3 items. That just means somebody else picked it out. I hate that fucking word. Curated. You know, somebody gives a shit. The fuck does this guy want? Tank tops? Yeah, you fucking tank tops. Why waste it? Wait, what the fuck am I? Handpicked, match the current season and your style. Oh, they're calling early. Oh, God, this is from Montreal, Quebec. All right, I got to take this. I'll get right back. All right, I'm back. I'm in between interviews. I'm in between fucking interviews here. I got it on the wrong fucking headphones. All right, here we go. Back. I got another interview in 4 minutes with the family Maggies. All right, what the fuck was I talking about? Trying to type in my password. This is a mess. Why wouldn't I do this before I hit fucking... Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Oh, Fivefold Club. Did I finish? Fivefold Club. They've been helping men with fashion for over 15 years and ship to over 100,000 men every month. Chris Paul and Mark Wahlberg use Fivefold Club. Fivefold Club is featured in GQ, Vice, and InStyle, among other publications. They know what they're doing. So if you don't think that's okay, Fivefold Club will help you. What? They know what they're doing. So if you don't, that's okay. I thought they were getting a little chip on themselves. So you don't think that's okay? Then fuck you. Get your goddamn suit somewhere else. Fivefold Club will help you build your wardrobe 1 month at a time. Because when you look good, you feel good, brother. Next thing you know, she's on her knees. It's a fact of life. You get $120 worth of clothes for just $60 a month. You can that doesn't make sense. 80% of the time, it works 100% of the time. You can pause or cancel anytime, no commitments. And as a Fivefold Club member, you'll receive up to 50% off your items in their online shop and access to exclusive members-only items. You get a members-only jacket for $30. Free shipping and size exchanges. Go to fivefoldclub.com right now and enter your promo code BURR, and they'll give you 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. That's 50% off your first package at Fivefold Club, spelled F-I-V-E-F-O, U-R club.com. Promo code BURR, fivefoldclub.com, promo code BURR. All right, CISO, everybody, CISO. You know, I've had funny feelings. I've gotten funny looks. I've even eaten funny-smelling sushi, but let me tell you, none of those are as funny as CISO's streaming library of stand-up television and original content, especially not the sushi. Why would they try to write comedy for us? Let me do a quick rewrite of this. You know, I've had a funny feeling in my gut. I've gone down on a funny-smelling twat. You know? I've been in a parking lot late at night and felt funny, like, you know, is there someone going to fucking cut me up? But nothing compares to watching fucking 6 Feet Under on CISO. All right, maybe I should have gone with this shit. Next, please mention the talking points below. I'm going to mention all of them if you fucking give them to me, you goddamn cunts over there. With CISO, you get unlimited access to CISO original series. Next day, late night, hilarious stand-up specials, binge-worthy classics, including 42 seasons of Saturday Night Live, the entire Monty Python catalog, the It Crowd, and more. I don't understand why more people aren't watching CISO. I mean, they got some fucking... Every episode of Saturday Night Live is on there. The entire Monty Python catalog. I don't know what the fucking It Crowd is, but shit. If it's following those two, it's got to be good. With CISO, you get binge-worthy classics, British cult comedy, original series like Harmon Quest and bajillion-dollar properties, not to mention the entire SNL library. I just fucking said that I'm supposed to pick one of these. Or watch your favorite sets from comedians like Louis C.K., Amy fucking Schumer, and Hannibal Buress. Access CISO content from anywhere at any time using iOS, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, stealing cable from your neighbor, Windows or Xbox One. Ready for the punchline? CISO is just $3.99 per month. No joke, $3.99 per month for all the comedy you want, anytime, anywhere, ad fucking free. Go to CISO, SEESO.com right now to sign up for 1 month for free with the promo code BURR at checkout. That's CISO.com, spelled SEESO.com, promo code BURR.
Yeah, it's the inception of podcast, Dolphin.
Right. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, by the way, Tiger Woods, who was arrested, everybody said was arrested for drinking and driving, blew a 0.0. 0.0. Ah, Jesus Christ, here's another one. Hang on a second. Hello? Oh, man, those are 2 fun interviews. I just talked to a guy who goes by Lights, Camera, Jackson. How do you not love that guy? That is old school showbiz. How do you ever forget that name? Lights, Camera, Jackson. All right, let me type this in here. The family back east. My fucking password. Why won't you work for me? Why won't you work for me? You know what's funny is somebody has enough time at some point to fucking splice together every time I'm trying to fucking put together my password. Yeah, by the way, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woo. Blew a 0.0. The dude was on pills. You know what I mean? The level of shit that guy's getting. That guy sacrificed his fucking body to become great, okay? Now his body's breaking down, and everybody's blaming it on the fact that he cheated on his lady, right? And that's what did him in. His laser focus, he couldn't block out the first 2 years, yeah, I'm sure it bugged him. But, I mean, at some point, you move on, right? His body, they said it from the very beginning. They said the way he swings the club, his body's going to break down at some point. So now look at him. You know, he's trying to come back. He's on all these painkillers. He wants to win another one probably before he hangs it up and goes to the senior tour. He's doing what he has to do. These fucking drugs that you can get nowadays are completely out of control. When I was a kid, when a drug came out, Bear or any of this shit, they didn't have 9,000 side effects. What happened was people used to be in the pharmaceutical industry, got into the fucking FDA, and they're the ones who policed the pharmaceutical companies, and those cunts just waved everything around like a third base coach did that lost his vision. Right? So then they let opiates into the fucking world. Now you got a goddamn heroin epidemic. Okay? And now Tiger Woods is taking too many of those fucking things, and he pulls over to the side of the road, and everybody's saying it's because the fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, who evidently is a saint, who took his fucking, his master's money, bought a giant house, knocked the fucking thing down to buy something else. Where did all that material go? Where did all those fucking gold-plated toilets go? They went right into the fucking ocean. You know? But she's a victim? Oh, give me a break. That's it for the podcast. Signing off. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm just trying to energy my way through the last bit of this. What else do I have here to talk about? Oh, you know who has a great new bit? I wrote his name is Charlie. Charlie Watts, drummer for the Rolling Stones, has a great new book out that it's just drummers that influenced him. And if you're a drummer and you're into that shit because he's, I guess, a jazz drummer at heart, he talked about all these fucking great drummers that I've heard most of the names and didn't know enough about them. And the fact that he could break down their styles and what they did has made me, I was already listening to a lot of that shit through some of my drum lessons, but really just trying to listen to the shit that he's saying. It's a great book. Let me look it up here. I'm going to fucking hype his book here. You know, we've been trying to get Charlie Watts on this podcast for a long time. I know he doesn't do a lot of interviews, but I know he'd want to come on my podcast. I'm joking. Charlie Watts' book. Let's see what we got here. Charlie. You know, the fucking internet works in like 2 rooms in my fucking house. I spent all this money. Like, can you get me the nuclear level fucking internet so I can somehow beat out my neighbors? And, you know, it works for a little while. Then that's it. Rolling Stone, Charlie Watts. 10 things you didn't know about Charlie Watts. Why no books about Charlie Watts? You know, I'm usually good about Charlie Watts, books, drummers, influence, book. You know, I nailed the John Daly search the last time. Come on, for fuck's sakes. Oh, Charlie Watts' favorite drummers. Oh, it did come up. Dude, you can get it for $12, $12.37. Whiplash, the film that puts the drummer in the limelight. Did I ever tell you guys how much I fucking hated that movie? I just hated watching somebody getting berated. It's just like, fucking quit. Go join another band. Why would you sit there taking that level of shit from the guy? And then not to mention the kid's fucking technique. You had to look away. When he was fucking playing real fast, he's making those faces. You could just feel the guy's forearms tighten up. This guy's going to have carpal tunnel trying to please this complete cunt. You know? And I got to tell you, the best drums from that year was not in that movie. As great as the drums were, the best fucking drums, and some of the best drums I've heard in a movie, a mainstream movie in a long fucking time, was that Michael Keaton movie. What the fuck was that movie? Where he was the former superhero, the Bird. Do you know how long I watched that movie before I realized that was him in the costume talking to himself? Spoiler alert. All right. Michael Keaton. I'm just going to write Bird. Fuck you spell his name. I've only been watching his movies for 30 fucking years, Bill. Jesus Christ. Michael Keaton, Bird. Birdman. Yo, Birdman. 5'4". Who the fuck is the drummer in that? I know I talked about that before. The drums in that movie are fucking incredible. It's like that. That's just a whole other level of drumming where that guy is like, he's playing like moods as opposed to just playing 90 million miles an hour all over the kid. That guy is, he's creating peaks and valleys. I mean, that was literally a movie score just done with drums. I mean, how many people can have that level of talent? I can tell you right now, I know I don't. I already knew I didn't. And for the last 3 weeks, because I've been so damn busy, I've just been playing like, not on a real drum kit. Little practice pad kit that I was playing on. And I thought I was doing something. And then I went down and I played on a real fucking kit. And Jesus Christ. Everything that you think you can do drops by like 50 BPMs. It'd be basically like if you were just jogging on a treadmill being like, wow, man, I can run a 7-minute mile. Then you go out to run down the street, and you forgot about hills and shit. And all of a sudden, you can't run a 7-minute mile anymore. Even if it was flat level, okay? Even if it was flat level, all of a sudden you run like a fucking 11-minute mile. That's what it's like. It was extremely fucking disheartening. And I'm doing the Comedy Jam this weekend up in San Francisco for Clusterfest, which is just completely like one of the biggest. I don't know how they afforded to get all of those comedians and bands and all of that. They must have had a lot of ad money. Somebody's doing something to establish that comedy festival going, we're going to go fucking, $9 zillion in the hole to start it out. But you might want to go this year because they're going big. And I almost forgot before I sign off here. Thank you to everybody who's been watching season 2 of F is for Family. Got nothing but great reviews. There's always a couple of cunty ones. What are you going to do? But overall, you guys not only like it, but you're saying you think it's even better than the first season, which for the amount of work that we put in, to hear that kind of feedback, I know I'm a jerk a lot. That really means a lot to me. So thank you guys for not only watching it, thank you for the people that took the time to let me know how much you enjoyed it. Please let other people know about it. The more the people know about it, the more people watch it, and the better chance we have of possibly getting a third season. And that's it. That's the podcast for this week. Have a great weekend, you cunts there. And here's a little bit of music from Andrew Themoulis. And then we'll play a little half hour of some greatest hits from a Thursday or a podcast or whatever from a Thursday gone by or maybe a Monday morning. I don't know.
See if I can fucking just... I'm gonna read that one next week when I have the energy. All right, questions. All right, Bill, I have a question for you. I was hoping you might be able to shine some insight on this. I have this great friend that's a girl. Mistake! And we get along great, and we have never had any sort of sexual tension, fucking up, or interest, despite her being attractive. All right, dude, right there, you're either gay or you're an idiot. And I'm giving you some tough love here. That's a fucking stupid situation to be involved in. That's stupid. All right? Unless you're using her to attract other females to get you fucking laid. Let's see if this is the case. I will continue reading. So, she has this smoking hot friend. Oh, there we go. that I'd met a few times and always flirted with, but it's just been overall friendly. So this chick calls me up one night, and I'm at the bar at like midnight and asks if I want to stay up drinking with her, and she'd come pick me up. So obviously I agree. Things go very good, and we have a few drinks and flirt. And when I make my move, she gets all upset, like I should have known she just wants to be friends when she calls me up at midnight to stay up drinking with her alone. After the incident, the bitch still has the balls to ask to sleep over. Since then, I have noticed all her friends are trying to be my friend when all I want to do is rail the shit out of them. Bill, I was hoping you could shine some light on the situation and help me out. Yeah, dude. Never have a friend as a female. You know, you always got to be fucking them. That's the only reason to be around them. You know? I know that sounds really sexist, but, you know, I'm speaking from me. There's no fucking point in hanging out with that level of frustration if you're not having sex with them. And if they're actually like a good friend, then that's the one that you should I mean, that's the ultimate. If you're banging them and they're also a great friend, that's the one you marry, because you got a connection there, right? But if you just, I mean, they're using you as like a live teddy bear. And yeah, the next time they call up, just be like, no, I can't hang out tonight. Why? What are you doing? I'm going to go out and try to get some ass tonight. I know I'm not getting any from you. And it's frustrating because you're hot, and I want to bend you over every piece of fucking furniture in my apartment. Oh, my God, I can't believe you said that. Yeah, well, I just did. Are you going to come over here and fuck me? Well, then great. I have to go. Why are you being so mean? I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. Okay? You know how many times I've jerked off to you? It's annoying. That you just, I'm telling you, like, that's a little aggressive, but that's what you have to start doing. You just have to be straightforward and honest, and don't do it like I just said it. Do it how you can do it and pull it off, and you just say it like that. Just be like, yeah, I want to go out. I want to try to get laid tonight. All right? And I go out with you, and you're not fucking me, and then other girls see me with you, and they think that I am fucking you, which I'm not, and I end up going home dry humping my futon. You know? And it's really fucking with my self-esteem. Okay? So that's it. So basically, what are you saying? You're saying that if I don't suck your cock, you don't want to hang out with me? Yes, that is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your conversations are awful. You know, I'm sure they're interesting to other females, but not to me. I don't want to talk about that shit. I could give a shit about the hills, the OC, the ocean, or whatever the fuck other stupid show you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I want to fuck you. Okay? It's right there. You know what it is? You ever watch the World Series of Poker when you go all in? That's what you do. Just say what the fuck you want to do. You push all your chips in, then you stand up and you start walking around. You wait for that next card to drop. You see what the fuck happens. Yeah, dude. That's my advice. Get out of that whole circle of, yeah, he's like a big teddy bear. Fuck that. Fuck that. All right? You're not a teddy bear. Well, you are one right now. You got to stop being that guy. So fuck all of them. Go, where are your guy friends? What are they doing? Go hang out with them. Go get a fucking wingman. Get yourself back in the game. And go out there and talk some shit. Hit on some girl you don't give a fuck about so you can practice not giving a fuck. And just say a bunch of shit that you would never say to some girl that you gave a shit about. Because you don't give a fuck if the girl says no. Start with that. You know, always wear a condom. And that's it. That's what I would do. That's what I should have done. I didn't. I just have that knowledge now because I'm fucking... have I ever been the... You know something? I was never the friend. But I was definitely the douchebag. I was definitely the not even pussy whipped. It wasn't even pussy whipped. It was just I couldn't fucking speak up for myself. I was afraid of having a confrontation. And then by the time I had the final confrontation, I was like, ah! And it was like fucking a year worth of shit, and we broke up. But that's a whole nother story. So was fucking pissed at me. She went absolutely psycho on me this morning, you know? It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to fucking do with me, you know? I gave her a piece of cake last night right at midnight. Sang her happy birthday because technically it was a birthday. I gave her a pre-birthday slice of cake, and then I gave her a bag of Fritos with a little bow on it, right? Just being a silly jackass like that's all you're getting for your birthday, right? And everything was going great. I was a big sweetheart. And then I woke up this morning and made the mistake of telling her that I hadn't made a dinner reservation yet. And then she starts flipping out, acting like I'm just throwing her goddamn birthday together when I gave her a pre-birthday fucking slice of birthday cake. You know? Starts flipping out. I don't know why she was flipping out. It's like it's fucking Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. It's not a holiday. Who the fuck is going out tonight? June 2nd. Oh, shit. Was it Cinco de Mayo? You know? Is it some fucking New Zealand holiday that I don't know about? There's going to be plenty of fucking reservations. And lo and behold, after she flips out, you know, screaming at me, right? So all my neighbors think that I'm beating her. Women love doing that shit. They just put on this big fucking show, right? And then afterwards, they just go, I'm sorry, I got a little crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. You don't hate me, do you? You forgive me? They do that shit, right? Meanwhile, you know, your neighbors don't hear that part. They don't hear the part where they sort of say really quietly that they flipped out for no fucking reason, you know? All they heard was the screaming and yelling. So now I'm going to get the looks today when I go down to the garage. You know, like it's the 1920s. Like I should be walking out with like a fucking wife beater. You know, as I reattach the belt to my pants. So this is what happens, right? I end up calling up this fucking restaurant, this one of the nicest steakhouses out here in L.A. I call them up. I said, hey, I'd like a reservation for 2 people. They go, okay, sir, what time would you like? I said, how about 8? Can't do anything at 8. How about 8:30? And I said, you know what, sweetheart, that would be perfect. And she said, okay. And that was it. That's all I had to fucking do. But for some reason, because I didn't do that before her birthday, that means that I don't give a fuck. That's how fucking nuts women are. She actually flipped out on me at 10 o'clock in the morning on her birthday. She didn't even give me a chance to fuck the day up. She did a preemptive strike. Even though I gave her a pre-birthday slice of cake, I sang happy birthday. I made her shut her eyes. I put out the lights. I lit a candle. I came in. I sang happy birthday, and I gave her a bag of Fritos, which is fucking ridiculous and silly. It was great. And tonight she's getting the real gift, if you know what I mean. Oh! You know? So it's one of those deals where I'm laying in bed and then all of a sudden it's just fucking ridiculous, you know? But I didn't back down. Actually, when she really got mad, why she started flipping out is because when she was screaming at me, I was laughing. You know? I don't know if any other guy out there has that problem. You ever have, like when your girlfriend starts yelling at you, your first instinct is just to start laughing? I don't know why. Every time my girl yells at me, I instantly feel like I'm in school again, and I'm like in 2nd grade, and I'm getting yelled at, and it's just, and my friends are laughing at me. That's what I feel like. I feel ridiculous. I guess that's what it is. When a woman yells at me, I always feel ridiculous. You know, when a guy yells at me, I get mad because I think, oh, fuck, this guy's going to beat the shit out of me. So you got to get into that energy. But when a woman is just sitting there, fucking screaming at you, what are you supposed to do? You know, I'm not going to yell back at you. You're a woman. I don't want to feel like a bully. We're not going to get physical. You're a woman. You know? It's stupid. Stop yelling. That fucking high-pitched voice. You sound like Mickey Mouse. Sit down, relax, collect your thoughts. Make a list if you have to. Tell me why you're upset. You know? But don't just sit there fucking yelling at me like you just took a hit off a helium balloon, because it just sounds hilarious, especially when I haven't done anything wrong and I got a great fucking gift this year. That's what was killing me. I actually had that moment during the fight where I said, "You want your gift? Fine." And I went out and I pull it out. It's already wrapped with the bow on it. You know? Sitting there acting like I'm not fucking prepared. There's your fucking present. Bam. Wrapped with a fucking bow on it. Jesus, everybody giving me shit. Remember last week when I called that woman a douchebag? Remember the douchebag of the week last week? Because she was giving me shit. Once again, a female, surprise, surprise, was giving me shit that when I read the underrated, overrated, or the questions people have, I wouldn't say what sex they were. And she somehow found out a way to kind of, I don't know, make me look like I was some chauvinist that I guess she felt if it was a good question, I credited a guy. And, you know, it's a free podcast. All right? Stop being so fucking cunty. So she became douchebag of the week. So evidently she didn't like it. And what does she do? She sends me an email. Here's the email she sends me. Bill, it's nice that you named me douchebag of the week. I don't really give a shit because I always mean what I write. I don't even know what that means because I always mean what I write. Oh, really? What are the rest of us just faking it? We're just joking around? But not you. You're so fucking serious. So anyways, evidently this psycho. This is a new segment. This is I can't figure out if this is love letter of the week or psycho of the week. I don't know. You guys name it. I don't give a shit. So anyway, she goes, I don't really give a shit because I always mean what I write. And it seems you're just talking shit about two things that I wrote that seemed bitchy. No, I was talking about your entire email. Don't try to knock it down. All right, continuing here. She goes, call me a cunt, but I really don't give a fuck. You've read a lot of my comments previously and agreed with them or had a good response to them. I'm literally fixing her sentences because she doesn't know how to write here. But it's nice that you will consider telling the gender of the person who the comments are from. And I know you have a shitload of people who listen to your podcast, but I got you some more since my friends who heard the podcast thought it was fucking hilarious, and then they started listening to you. So you really should be thanking me. Isn't this just typical? This is just all going to be woman bashing this week. Isn't this just typical of a fucking female? You know what I mean? She's getting something every week that is free, and she still found a way to bitch about it. Okay? And then when I call her out for being a douchebag, now she's actually trying to make me feel guilty. You know, you call me a douchebag, whatever. I mean, just, even though I got a whole bunch of friends to listen to it, I mean, probably should be thanking me, but, that's okay. Shut up. I swear to God. Why can't you slap women, Back in the day. How great did that feel? You have on the wife beater, the wind blowing through your armpit hair as you just fucking crack. I know it's evil. I don't give a fuck. Fuck all you guys. I don't give a shit. This is the rest of her email, okay? Before you think I'm an asshole, this is what she wrote. This is actually so psychotic, it's hilarious. She writes, and yeah, I do know that the name shows up on the email even if I don't sign it. But you just make it seem like you that much of a retard to notice. That's literally what she wrote. And then she wrote, you're over 40 and have the vocabulary of a 7th grader. Your is spelt Y-O-U-R. All right, for all you morons out there, your Y-O-U-R is possessive, meaning like that's your shirt. Okay? If you're saying you're over 40, that's you are. Okay, so that means if you're going to say your, it's an apostrophe. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. So if you're a dumb fuck like this woman, if you don't know, the next time you go to write your, just stop and see if you are would still fit. All right, like you're over 40. You are over 40. Okay, right there, you got to use the apostrophe as opposed to saying you're over 40. So what is over? Do I own over? You dumb fuck. But I do have the vocabulary of a 7th grader. But you know something? You have the fucking vocabulary of a 3rd grader. All right? You're over 40. And you have the vocabulary of a 7th grader. You can't recognize real words. How hilarious is this? And she's misspelling stuff. You stutter when you read, and I hope your dog outlives you. And you die lonely because of your inability to commit and therefore never achieved the comedic fame of the great George Carlin. So, Simon says, go fuck yourself. since it sounds like you have major brain damage. All right. Sweetheart, I'm really going to try to help you out here. Okay, if you hope that my dog outlives me, and then you say, and then I die lonely. Okay, if I'm going to die before my dog, mathematically, the fucking dog is still going to be there, so how am I going to be lonely? You know? The dog would have to die first or run away. So what you should say is, I hope your dog outlives you, then runs away, and then you die by yourself, as opposed to saying, I hope your dog outlives you and you die lonely. No, I would die before my dog and be sitting there licking my face in my last few pathetic moments. And then evidently, because of my inability to commit to a relationship, I'll never achieve the comedic fame of George Carlin. Oh, that totally makes sense. It has nothing to do with the fact that I wasn't blessed with his gifts as a comedian. You know, all you have to do to be as good as George Carlin is just commit to a relationship to some psycho fucking chick like you. All right? Lady, these are podcasts. These are jokes. When I call somebody a douchebag, I'm just fucking around, so don't take it seriously. But if you want to, you and your friends can go fuck yourselves and go listen to another podcast, all right? Stop trying to threaten me like you're going to take podcast listeners away. I don't give a shit. This is free. What are you going to take away advertising dollars from me? I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and your friends. I hope you're all listening it together. Fuck all of you. Look around the room. Look into each one of your eyes. I'm saying fuck all of you. You know what's funny is your friends are probably laughing at you right now. Going, you know what? She is kind of a cunt. She really is like that. She does have a tendency. I know I shouldn't use that word, but I'm serious. She is. She can be real cunty sometimes. And she has a tendency to exaggerate things that aren't really happening. All right. So that's the first hate mail. So I figured, you know what? Why don't I seek out? I'll try to find some other hate mail. Here's one that I got on YouTube. This is a nice one. Basically, there's a clip on there from me from about 8 years ago, which you'll obviously notice because I'm skinnier and have a full head of hair. And I'm doing this bit about joining the military, saying how, you know, when you watch the commercials for the military, it makes you want to join, you know? They make it look like everybody gets their own jet. Everybody's driving a tank. Everyone's doing some Top Gun shit. Everyone's having you know, you're a fucking Navy SEAL. You get your face painted and you're clinging to that raft and you're coming up out of the water like fucking Rambo, disappearing into the mud and shit. That's what they make you look like, right? But what they don't show is all the other jobs that you know, you go in there and you think you're going to be like, you know, Tom Cruise. Oh my God, my dog just farted. Jesus Christ, Cleo. You know, could you at least, like, you know what kills me about this dog when it farts is it doesn't even have the decency to fucking kind of make a face like, yeah, that was me. Sorry about that. She just lays here. Good Lord. At least it's silent. You know what's the worst is when you have a dog that farts like a person. You ever been over somebody's house and the dog's in the corner and they just go like, he just like, really? Anyways, so that was the bit. So the bit is, yeah, you see the commercial and you sign up. And you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to be like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. And then you show up and you end up being that guy, you know, when the jet takes off, you just like point in the same direction that the jet's going. Or they give you those orange glow sticks from a rave. You know, when the plane comes in, you're that guy. You put the air in the tires on the jet. You know, you join. And next thing you know, you're standing there with like a camouflage weed whacker. Yeah, that was the joke. Okay? Simple joke. I actually did the joke at a military base, and I also did it at one of the VA hospitals, and it fucking killed. You know what I mean? So this guy, of course, has to go all Fox News on YouTube, and this is what he writes. This is actually kind of funny. He writes, "You ungrateful bitch." And then he puts in quotes, "If you're dumb enough to join the military, ... which is classic of somebody who wants to take a joke seriously, is they don't write the whole joke, is they just take, not even a sentence, they just take a part of a sentence. Okay, so he writes, "If you're dumb enough to join the military, ... and then he writes in capital letters, "Fact. Fact is, if it wasn't for the bravery of the American servicemen and the American spirit throughout history," I like the American spirit. What do you mean, chicks who go to a fucking bake sale? Anyways, you wouldn't even have the right to mock those sacrifices which have been made for you. And if you did, you would probably be doing it in German. So respect your American serviceman, because it is him in which you owe your freedoms to take to that. What? People can't, half the time people think I'm a moron because people can't even write a sentence. Because it is him in which you owe your freedoms to that you take so foolishly for granted. That's word for word. Appreciate the sacrifices of other, you coward. At what point did I make fun of servicemen? I didn't. I was making fun of how fucking... Whatever. You know something? If you guys want to take jokes seriously, I don't give a fuck. And I'm really sick of that hacky thing where someone goes, and they did it for you, and if you didn't, you'd be speaking German right now. That's how dumb people are. They just use, to say that you'd be speaking German right now is a hacky fucking reference. You're just saying that because you heard someone else say it. Why wouldn't I be speaking like I was from England? Why wouldn't I be speaking Spanish right now? We did fight other countries. Mexican-American War, how come that one never gets brought up? How come I wouldn't be speaking Korean? I mean, granted, they weren't over here, but you know what I'm saying? I'm so sick of fucking idiots who speak in sound bites, like everybody who makes fun of France. Yeah, we fucking saved your ass in World War II, you fucking pussies. Read a history book. We were paying them back for saving our ass with England, you dumb fucks. So now we're even. All right, whatever. Look at me, I'm getting all upset here because people are morons. All right, let's move on to let's get to some information here for the week. All right. Last week I was here's a good one. Last week I was teasing firefighters, and I was talking about how 20 trucks show up to every fire. Why does that happen? How much do those trucks cost? And a volunteer firefighter wrote in. He said, yes, how much fire trucks cost? Fire engines which put the water out. Put the water out. Fire engines which put water out. I think I'm dyslexic. Typically run between $300,000 and $600,000. Fire trucks, also called ladder trucks, run between $400,000 and $800,000. The two main differences between the low and high numbers is the make of the truck and the equipment it comes with. A fire engine with all the hoses added on and the breathing apparatus is more expensive than without. All right, well, here's a question I have for you. You say the make of the truck. So, I guess what, Mack truck? That's a reputable brand, as opposed to what? A Hyundai fire truck? I guess that's what it is. I don't even know what the fuck they are. But anyways, you asked why so many pieces of apparatus show up to a call. There are a few reasons for this. Sometimes it's manpower. In my case, we have 3 fire companies consisting of 6 pieces of apparatus. Since we volunteer, there may not be enough volunteers in town at any one time, so all 3 companies get banged out. Banged out equals called out in firefighting terms. Typically, at least 4 pieces show up for a call. This allows us to have all the equipment we need at the scene. Sometimes you just never know what you're going to need. All right, fair enough. But perhaps the best reason, this is great here, but perhaps the best reason is that sometimes we are called for what amounts to be, in the end, absolutely nothing. About 6 months ago, my pager went off. Your pager? Jesus Christ, dude. Is your fire truck pulled by a couple of horses? Who the fuck still has a pager? I know he's going to write back, actually, it's a special fucking 911 pager for firemen. All right, I'm a moron. I get it. All right. About 6 months ago, my pager went off for a working house fire at 2 a.m. I jumped awake and flew down to the firehouse. We got on the scene. We saw no smoke or flames. In speaking with the residents, they had just woke up and saw a reflection in their mirror that they thought was a fire. So here's all 6 of our apparatus showing up for absolutely nothing. Or the time we called for lightning hitting a house on a clear summer night. The woman heard something and thought it was lightning hitting her house. People are fucking idiots all over. Hope that helps. And even though I am a firefighter, your firefighter jokes were funny. See, there's a cool guy. You see there, sweetheart? Even though he's a firefighter, he sees the joke. He realizes I'm just telling jokes. All right. There you go, people. How we learned something this week. All right. You want to learn something else? Then I'm going to wrap up this fucking podcast. I know it's really short this week, but I don't understand what the point of me keep babbling for fucking 50 minutes if GCast won't upload the files. All right. Here's some computer tips for the week. Here's some computer tips on web searching. All right, Bill, when you want to find something that that you are Google it. What? That makes no sense. All right, when you Google, use the plus and the minus signs to find the shit you want. So this is how it works. If you want to search something with a plus in front of it, then it will have to contain the word, and if you want to put a minus in front of it, that will remove the word from the listing. So basically, put the plus in front of the word that you're searching, that you want to find, and a minus in front of the one that you don't want. For example, I want to see how many sites have Bill Burr on it while eliminating Bill Burr from the search. So you would Google the plus sign plus my name Bill, then the plus sign, and then you write Burr minus BillBurr.com. And the results will show sites that can have content with Bill Burr on it and not include BillBurr.com. Huh? Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that shit. And he said I'm listed on 706,000 web pages, not including my website. 706,000 websites have my name on it, and I still can't sell out the third show on Saturday night. What the fuck is going on? All right. If you find some shit out like... if you want to find some shit out like to do to you... I can't read what you guys write. If you want to find some shit out like to you do when you are on... What? I can't even paraphrase that. If you want to find some shit out like to you do... No, like you do when you're on the podcast. All right, you had an extra word in there, dude. If you want to find some shit out like you do when you're on the podcast, use the above option, the plus minus, or use quotes. All right, you wanted to find the names of female serial killers a few weeks ago. Just put quotes around a phrase, and it will only show sites that contain phrases. Okay, I get it. You know, like you guys ever go to search something and you'll just write female serial killers, and then a bunch of hits will come up, and you'll have a bunch that just say female and a bunch that will just say serial, another one will just say killers or whatever. Yeah, I guess if you put quotes around it, that puts it all together. You know what? That's very helpful. I know this part of the podcast isn't that funny, but God damn it, we got to learn something here. All right, I should have got some water here. My fucking mouth is dry as hell. All right, let's wrap up the podcast here. This is the serial killer topic. Bill, if you want to be a serial killer and use the best weapon, you have to use ice. If you stab someone with an icicle or beat someone to death with ice, then it melts and you have no murder weapon or fingerprints, no DNA or fingerprint problems. Oh, yeah, that guy who that talked about tracking you down with the type of soil, where it was located, and the type of wood used and all that shit is exactly that. Bullshit. They watch too many shows. CSI does not do that shit. I know, dude. We all knew he was just fucking around. He was making fun of how when you watch those shows. All right, what else do we got here? Question. Bill, you say that you play the drums. If you could play the drums in any band, living or dead, for one show, one night only, in any city in the world, who would you play and in what city? Fuck. Jesus Christ. It would either be Led Zeppelin. You know what's funny is I think I would have a better chance faking what John Bonham does than what Phil Rudd does in AC/DC. What Phil Rudd does is so fucking difficult if you play drums to just sit there going boom, crack, for fucking 2 hours straight. Yeah, I think I would play with Led Zeppelin. I'd do it in England at Royal Albert Hall, and I would play on the Ludwig that maple drum kit that he played, either that or his green sparkle kit. I don't like the Vista Light kit he had or the stainless steel one. I like the first two ones that he had. I'd play on either one of those, and somehow I would sound as good as. Can I have that as part of the fantasy? That I would actually sound as good as he would sound? You know, that's what I would do. And then I'd get fucking some 1969 groupie pussy afterwards. All right, next question, Bill. Would you rather be a respected comedian who never makes it really big, like so and so and so and so? I'm not going to name the names. He named two people who are millionaires playing theaters. but I guess who can still walk down the street. He said, or would you rather be a one-trick pony like blah, 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 who has ridden one catchphrase to fame and fortune and has more cash than he can ever spend? Oh, no, I'd much rather be respected by my peers, without a fucking doubt. Without a doubt. I would, you know? You can become a really big comedian and not necessarily be super... Like, that's the great thing about entertainment is it's easy to become... I can't say it's easy, but you can become a millionaire and still not be famous. You know what I'm saying? And I always use this example, like that sitcom Caroline in the City. They actually made it to syndication, and the entire cast could walk by me on walking down the street, and I wouldn't recognize any of them. So I would, you know, dude, you're a millionaire. How much fucking money do you need? And I also think the more I look at these people being super, super famous, it just doesn't look like a good time to me. You know? I think I want to be a millionaire who has notoriety, which means maybe 2-3 times a month somebody goes, hey, you're that comedian. I really like what you do. And then, hey, thanks a lot. Then I go back to eating my omelet. I'd rather do that than fucking, I don't know. You know, I don't ever want to fucking have to step out of a limo with no panties on. You know what I mean? Just so I can maintain fame at that fucking level. Wouldn't you think that would be miserable? I mean, other than when you're at the fucking Celtics game and you have courtside seats, in that moment, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? I've always used this analogy, but at some point, you're going to have to fucking blow out a bathroom in public, and you don't want to be famous at that point. You know? You just want to be like, dude, you can't, some fucking guy just blew, you don't want, hey, Bill Burr just blew out the bathroom. They literally put a fucking name to it. It's brutal. All right, overrated, underrated, really quickly. Overrated, beer with the lime already in it. No joke, it just tastes fucking gross. What else do I got here? I'm sorry, this is really fucking unraveling here. I've done this too many times this fucking week. I've lost my passion. Like if Pau Gasol was doing a fucking podcast, this is what it would sound like right now. You know, and I'd be thumping my chest, acting like I'm giving you entertainment right now, and I'm not. You know, that's what I'm going to end with this week. What do we got here? I'm 28 minutes in. Good, I'll keep it under 30 minutes. I'm going to end with this prediction. I think Orlando's going to beat the Lakers, and I think that they're going to beat them in 6 games because they don't have anybody to stop Dwight Howard. And I think Turkoglu is, I don't know. I think that guy's going to get enough points, and then they got that other guy in the number 2, or is he the point guard? I don't know shit about basketball. I just fucking hate the Lakers. So I'm going to go out on a limb here with no money down or nothing. I'm not going out on a limb. I just think, I got a feeling. I got a fucking feeling. All right? I think Van Gundy's going to outcoach Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, he's making home videos with his girlfriend, his new hot young girlfriend on his way to the Staples Center every night. They're soft. They're fucking soft. All they have is Kobe. Kobe's the shit. I love Kobe. But I think his teammates are scared of him. I think they're scared to fuck up around him. They're scared to disappoint him. And they just get freaked out and they just pass him the ball. That's what I think's going to happen. Pau Gasol gets the most quietest 15 fucking rebounds and the quietest 20 points a game. I think he's gonna take a fucking Dwight Howard elbow to his bearded chops sometime in game 2, and Orlando's gonna win game 2. They got 3 in a row in Orlando. They're gonna win 2 out of 3, and then they're gonna come back and they're gonna beat the heartless Lakers in the Staples Center, game 6. What the fuck do you guys think about that, huh? You like that one? You know? What do you guys think about the 2-3-2 playoff format? I think it's bullshit. I think they give the advantage to the weaker team because the Lakers should have home court, right? And I don't think they do with a 2-3-2 format because when it's 2-3-2, the pressure is on the home team for the first 2 games, right? If it was 2-2, 1-1-1 like they used to do back in the day, you open the first 2 games, the pressure is on Orlando to steal one. Now, when it's 2-3-2, the pressure's on the Lakers. They have to win both of those fucking games. They can't go 1-1 and then have to play 3 fucking games in Orlando, right? Am I out of my mind? Is this all getting boring? Well, I don't give a fuck because this is my 3rd one this week. Listen, my goddamn mouth is dry. So anyways, I might do another podcast this week because I might have a very special announcement of something that I might be doing next week that might be on television. How do you like that? I'm leaving you with a little cliffhanger. And with that, I don't have any gigs until the third week in July when I'm going to be at the Comedy Works in Denver. Why is that? I booked a very small part in a very big movie. And I don't know. I'm shooting like 5-6 days on it, but they had to clear out my schedule because they're working around famous people's schedules. So I'm low man on the totem pole. So I gladly cleared out my schedule. So I'll let you know what the name of the movie is and all that type of shit when, in fact, I know that I haven't been cut out of it. How's that? All right? And that's the very short, very succinct Monday morning podcast this week. The third fucking time. I'm praying to God that this thing is going to actually get published. All right? You guys have a good week, and thanks to everybody who came out to the Improv a couple weekends ago out here in Hollywood. All right? That's it. Take it easy.
Hello, everybody. And problem. We're next to an amazing 54club.com. Use the promo code Rogan. It actually picked up speed and picked up size and power in the ocean, which means the ocean's warmer. So this could be a consequence of having a warmer ocean, is that these fucking hurricanes could get bigger and bigger in the ocean.
And it's really unusual because, you have like such a big storm like the one that hit Houston. That's usually once a year, once every couple of years. It's not twice in like a month.
Yeah.
And then there's like Jose's right behind it.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
I think they said there's two behind it.
Well, the other one formed in the Gulf next to, like off Mexico, east of Mexico.
So it's just another one at the same time, but in a different place?
Sitting there right now. And there could be another one forming off of the Cape in Africa where they all usually form, but...
Fuck, man.
We don't get hurricanes because it's cold water. Is that the logic behind it?
Yeah, I think that's the move. You want to live near cold water. Just suck it up like a man and deal with that cold water. That water is fucking cold, too. When you get in the water in the Pacific Ocean, you're like, hey, what is this? Like, this is weird. It's crazy cold. Even in the middle of August. It could be 100 degrees in Malibu. You get in that water and you're like, holy shit. Like, this is fucking cold.
I've only been in it twice since I've lived here, like 13 years. I remember the first week I moved out here, I was like, I'm going to the ocean, I'm running the ocean, freezing, never hit it again.
What is all this you're showing us, Jamie? Please don't say that's hurricanes. No, a storm of hurricanes.
These are the tropical cyclones of the 2017 Pacific hurricane season. So these are cyclones that I guess have already happened this year. I was assuming when I was pulling it up, they were in the past, like long time ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know this many had already come in here.
You know, when you look at this picture, like if you look at this picture of the United States, it gives you such a way better sense of what it really is. Because that picture, like, because all the browns and the greens, and because I'm not seeing cities, and because it's like a perfect scale, like pull back a little bit so you see it in scale with the ocean again. Like when you're looking at that, you realize, oh, that shit could shift left and right a bunch of times. Easy. Like, there's way more water than there is ground. Like, that is a fucking problem. That's a giant problem. We're next to an enormous chunk of blue. It's so big. Dude, I'll tell you, man, when I was living in that house in Malibu for a couple months on the water, I rented a spot on the water. That's when you realize, you go, oh, that's a monster. That's like you're living on the edge of a world that can just reach in and swallow you.
Did it freak you out? Did you?
Fuck yeah. You know when it freaks you out is at night. At night, it like reveals its true self. Because like in the day, it looks beautiful. The sun hits it. It seems so peaceful. The birds are squawk, squawk, squawk. You see a seal or maybe a dolphin or a whale. Sometimes you see a whale. People see whales out there. You're like, wow, this is crazy. But then at nighttime, when the sky is dark and the sea is black, then you get to see what it really is. Like, oh, this is a whole nother world, a world of water. And we can touch it. We can go in between worlds. And that world is far bigger than our world. And then I started freaking out about all the shit that we're pulling out of that world. Like, how gross are we? Humans, we're like just netting everything in that world and scooping it up, just chopping it up and stuffing it into cans and feeding it to our pets and eating it like left and right, raw sushi, yummy, like the never-ending supply. Fuck, the world of the ocean is a real trip. If you stop and think about what it really is, because if it was in the sky above your head, you'd be freaked out all the time. You know, if like you reached up to touch it, you'd be freaked out. You wouldn't want to be right next to that thing. Like, Jesus, it's too alien. I can't get away from it. But because it's right there and it's blue and we're on the ground, we feel like we're in control. We're cocky because most of the time nothing happens. I'm like, nah, no big deal. It's right there. I love the beach. I like going to the beach. Get some sun, catch some rays. It's like we like flirting with death. Just standing at the edge of this impossible to control life force filled with creatures, filled with the biggest creatures in the world, right? Aren't whales the biggest things on Earth?
Yeah.
I think you know what they are? They're the biggest living thing on Earth next to this. There's like a group of mushrooms in the Pacific Northwest that are all connected and all considered to be one enormous life form. Yeah, I got to get this guy, Paul Stamets. I think that's his name. I believe that's how you say his name, rather. He's a guy who studies mushrooms. He's a mushroom scientist. It's fascinating studies, fascinating like articles and stuff online.
It's in the Blue Mountains in Oregon.
Yeah, there it is.
Is it on the world's biggest shit?
More precisely, a specific honey fungus measuring 2.4 miles across in the Blue Mountains. It's known as the largest living organism on Earth. Several species of fungi belong to the, try that word, Armillaria genus. Genus or genus? How do you say that? That's a read one. That's one I read, I never say. You know, I never use that in a conversation unless I'm being super pretentious. I'd have to be like really high to be that pretentious. Armillaria genus, which is popularly known as honey fungus. 2.4 miles across. I like how they give it to us in kilometers. Like, if you don't want to be stupid, 3.8 kilometers. If you want to be like the rest of the world and do everything in tens, you fucking idiots. Sticking to miles and inches.
Why do we do that?
Because we're gross.
It's the worst.
There's parts of America that are gross. We're like, nah, we got it. You know, like that. Well, we found a much better system. It makes more sense. It's all in tens. The whole world use it. Nah, good luck. Mm-hmm. Good luck with that fucking stupid system. I'll take inches, bro. Yards, inches.
It feels good, too, when you're in, like, other countries and you're like, why are you going 120 miles an hour? Oh, wait, it's...
it's different. So they're, like, 62 is, like, I want to say it's 100 kilometers an hour, but I think it's actually more than that.
I was just always thinking it's half, but that's probably wrong.
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is 62 100 miles an hour?
Yep. 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers, rather, 62 miles an hour?
Yep.
Okay. 100 sounds cooler. You know? Kilometers are just, they're better. We're using some old king shit. Inches.
It'd be weird to change now, though. Like, we had to be born with that. Like, it's, you know.
Well, dude, I don't know about when you were in high school, but when I was in high school, they were trying. There was a real push to get people to use the metric system that I don't think exists anymore. I don't know. But, I mean, maybe it was just the schools that I was in. I would like to talk to other people that are like my age that could remember like the 1980s. Because in the 1980s, I think that they were trying to push the metric system. I think I kind of caught it on the tail end.
I don't remember it at all from school.
United States is now the only industrialized country in the world that does not use the metric system. And its predominant system of measurement. Most Americans think that our involvement with metric measurement is relatively new, but it's not, right? What year did they try to do it? 1975. See? The Metric Conversion Act of 1975. Yeah, that's what I remember, dude.
Gerald Ford.
Yeah, they were trying that. Because, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I wasn't in high school. Maybe it was before high school.
I think it was, I was looking something up the other day. I think it was when you asked, are the presidents allowed to change the White House or something, and I think it was Ford that added solar panels to the White House. I was looking up, and then the next president, which might have been Nixon, took them out, and they didn't have them reinstalled, I think, until Obama was there, like, whatever, 5 years ago.
Right.
So it was like 25 years of no solar panels when they already had them. We were already headed that way. Super weird.
That is weird.
You see the new Apple campus that they're going to show, I guess, next Tuesday when they have. I
haven't seen much of it, but I know that it's supposed to be some insanely impossible, huge, crazy place.
It looks like a spaceship. It's now finished. They have like drone footage that you can like just go around. It looks just like a round donut spaceship, and the whole roof is solar collector. So
look at that thing.
That powers itself.
Look at that thing.
Yeah.
There might be a computer image of it.
I think that is.
Wow. Yeah. Who cares? Yeah. Zoom back in on that computer image. That's insane. It must be so cool to have the kind of money where you could just build something. Like, what you guys want to do? Let's make a spaceship, bro.
Yeah.
Let's make a fucking giant Apple spaceship. Should we make it the shape of an apple? Nah. That's too corny. They could have easily made that thing an apple, but then they would have never been able to sell it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's going to go to like a tire company next.
They would never be able to sell it, man. You know?
Yeah.
If they no one wants to buy your stupid Apple.
You don't like the touch bar on your MacBook. I've not even seen one in person yet.
It's this is what I think. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of cute, but it does a lot of different stuff that I never use. And maybe it's me, but also there's like a Siri button that I accidentally press all the time while I'm typing because I suck at typing. I'm okay, you know. I'm not very good at it. I really should practice and get better at it. I just have every time I get a chance to write, I just write.
You can turn it off, right? The touch bar though. I think you could.
You could do stuff with it, but I mean, I don't know if you could totally turn it off because then you turn off the volume control. Oh. That's where the volume control is.
Oh, fuck, really?
The brightness, the volume control, everything. The real problem is that fucking Siri button that's right above the delete key with my fat, stupid fingers. I touch that thing at least once a day.
You can turn Siri off.
She's off.
Okay.
You're off, bitch. Yeah, but I don't want Siri on my goddamn laptop. But it's just an accidental touch thing. And it's not the best keyboard. It's a very shallow touch, you know. And some people like that. It's very precise. I'll give it that. But I like the IBM or the those ThinkPads. Those who's making those? Lenovo, right? Yeah. They have a way better feel to their keyboard.
Mechanical.
Yeah. When Apple's operating system to me is just way better. I shouldn't say way better because Windows 10 is really good. It's just more familiar, I should say, at this point. It was way better for a long time, for sure. But there's more options if you want to buy a Windows computer. Like, you can get so many different kinds of computers. You can get big ones, small ones. You get ones with interesting keyboards. You get ones with keyboards that feel like, you know, like that, like a MacBook. Or you get other ones like a ThinkPad that it feels almost like a mechanical keyboard. It's got a lot more touch to it. It seems stupid, but to me, that, like, tactile feel is a very important part of writing. It helps me. It helps, like, I like to get in a good groove with where my fingers are growing. And when I have actual physical keys that stick up a little bit more and they have a little push to them, my fingers find their way better. It's hard when you're on this, like, very thin keyboard. Just me.
Yeah, I always upgrade my keyboards. Like, I like Razer keyboards are really nice. They make good ones.
I have a mechanical Razer keyboard for my computer at home.
I love Razer.
They're the shit.
Yeah. I got one of those Razer laptops. I decided to switch over to PC for VR gaming and all that stuff. And the keyboard is a mechanical one. You would love it. It's just almost like a typewriter.
Really?
Yeah, the Razer Blade Pro.
Those are slick looking devices too, man. They are like literally like it's a Windows version of a MacBook, like as far as like the build quality and everything.
Yeah, and it's got the most powerful graphics card in it, desktop graphics card.
They're very slick, very slick. They make a lot of cool shit. They make the best gaming mices too.
They made that thing I told you about at CES, that 3-screen laptop. I don't think it's out for sale yet.
That was stolen.
Crazy.
Somebody stole that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know how deep you're going when you get 3 screens popped open? They're all on porn.
Yeah.
3 different movies going at the same time. Plus, you're playing a game in the background.
Do you worry about like our devices constantly listening to us at all time, like Alexas and Siris and
well, they definitely are.
Oh, they are. I mean,
Yeah.
That's how they work. Like, hey Siri,
I feel like this is all inevitable. I feel like this is where it's all going. You know, I think that you could fight it off if you want, and you could probably stay out of it for a really long time. But ultimately, we are so much less private today than we were a decade ago. And I don't think people really feel it yet. Because a lot of the people that are like 25 today, you guys grew up with the internet being like this preeminent thing. Like Brian and I, when we were kids, there was nothing. And then all of a sudden it came about when we were in adulthood. And you're like, whoa, this is nuts. Like, this is all connected? Like, how the fuck? And it's like the whole world is learning a whole new style of being a person because of this connection. I mean, it's changing everything.
And kids are born into that. Like, they've had it since they were born nowadays.
Oh, for sure.
So they're completely different people.
Dude, I went down a rabbit hole the other day. I went down a rabbit hole of vegan bloggers who are mean to other vegan bloggers and claim that they're not even vegan. It was crazy. I was like, I just went down a total wrong rabbit hole. And people are accusing people of not being vegan, and people are suing people. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is...
Vegan lawsuits.
Vegan lawsuits. Yeah, defamatory lawsuits. People talking shit lawsuits. I'm like, whoo. Man, you can go down a rabbit hole, right? You know, that's never been the case before. Before you can get into a good book, you know, you go, this book is the shit, man. I can't put it down. It's a page turner. But you could never, like, just go from subject to subject instantaneously. Your stupid little brain just sucking up all the fucking motorcycle accidents and coyote attacks. And just, there's never been a person like us in terms of, like, the person with that kind of access to information. We're the first generation ever. Like, there's never been anyone before us. And we're all figuring it out as we go along.
It's like we're at the library nonstop, like at the card catalog, looking up stuff, doing research papers, you know, nonstop.
Nonstop on everything. Nonstop on everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got all your factions. You know, people group up. They group up. You got white supremacist factions. You got flat earth factions. You got giant groups of people who chunk up together, and they all, like, share memes, and they make fun of everybody else. Dude, I saw one online. It was a flat earth guy calling all people who believe the earth is round globe heads. And it was like, and I was like, what is this? And there's a whole series of them. There's like hundreds of them, dude, where people are mocking the idea that the earth is round. You can fucking find anything online, man. Anything. Any weird group, you can find them. Have you seen it?
I typed it in Google, and there's just like the first 3 things are videos like another globehead theory debunked.
Eddie Bravo pissed off.
Dude, I fucking love those people now. I used to get upset at them. Now I love them. My parents were globeheads, not anymore.
Oh my God.
They burn the house down because the parents think the world is round. This is the meme. It's a child standing in front with a smile, standing in front of a burning house. It says, my parents were globeheads, not anymore. Like, so this is my point, is it's the same thing. It's all the same kind of mental illness that drags you into this group hook, line, and sinker if the group doesn't make any sense. If it's, you know, vegan bloggers trying to take out other vegan bloggers, or whether it's this idea that the world is round and that the people who think the world is round should have their houses burnt down. Little kids should be smiling even though it's their parents. They're like, what? This is so crazy.
What's, like, I haven't talked to too many flat earthers, but but my, you know, Kevin Pereira, he attached a GoPro camera to a weather balloon one time, or a few times, and when it goes up to a certain point, it's a round Earth that the camera's showing.
Kevin Pereira is a globalist shill. You don't know shit, man.
Eddie does believe in that, right? Like,
he says he doesn't. Well, he doesn't say he does. He doesn't know about that one. He keeps an open mind with everything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually saying it. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not saying it to me. But I think it's fun for people, too. I think there's that. it's fun to think that they're right. It's fun to think, and it's fun to say you don't know, and you're right, I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. That's the reality. I mean, that's the one thing that, like, if you're talking to flat earth people and you say, why are you so confident that the world is round? Like, you got a good point. I'm not doing any experiments. I've never really looked at the data. I've looked at all those satellite images, though, and I would assume that all those people who are making maps and flying transcontinental flights, pilots, people who make satellites, people who've actually been to space, I would assume they're not all in cahoots. I mean, but I don't know. Might be the biggest hoax of all time.
Jesus.
Could you imagine if we're really living in some, like, what was that Jim Carrey movie?
Truman Show.
Truman Show, yes. If we're really living in some bizarre simulation and we are in a dome and we've been just tricked with some fake numbers and science and images.
I continue to think that more and more to the point where that's my religion, where people, or that's my flat earth. It's getting so weird the older you get how much I believe in that kind of shit now.
Like a simulation type thing?
Stuff.
I think we probably have a deeper connection that we can't measure. And that's one of the reasons why it seems like things could be fake. I think we have a connection that's changing, too. I think our connection with our reality, not just because of information and technology that allows you to call each other and stuff like that, I think the information that we're getting is allowing us to, like, almost like go through the world in a different way. And things are syncing up more and more with a lot of people. I hear that all the time. It sounds like total horseshit, though. But I wonder, what is the placebo effect, right? What is that?
Tricking your brain into something that's not there, right?
Yeah, well, you trick your body into thinking that it took medicine and your body heals itself, right? Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that? So there's some tricks. There's some tricks.
It doesn't even happen with, like, medicine. Music and wearing certain uniforms, like, get you pumped up for sports and shit.
Totally.
So, like,
music's a perfect example, right?
Yeah.
There's songs that I hear when I'm working out and I fucking work out harder. Mm-hmm. Like, they give me, like, more pep, more energy. And then there's a lot of fucking movies that do that too, right? Like, I saw Rocky when I was a little kid. I ran around the block. I drank raw eggs. I did the whole thing. Because I was just, like, was so pumped up. That movie literally gives you energy.
I think every kid ate raw eggs when that movie came out. I remember doing it with my friend.
Fuck yeah.
And then there's glitches in the simulation, like, like deja vu, and then, like, or when you're walking down a sidewalk and you know how you just walk, people walking next to you, like, no big thing, but then there's that one guy where you try to go left, he's going left, you're going right, and you're just like, why didn't we just sync up here? Like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, it's the randomness of it all, man.
It made me think of this. I just saw this article recently came out. There's a study about why music gives you goosebumps, and scientists studied 10 people that claim that they get chills when they hear certain songs or certain things happen and whatnot.
What does it say?
They did brain scans on them, and what they found out is that their auditory cortex, which is, or they have fibers in their auditory cortex that are stronger, I guess, whatever the stronger is, than people who don't feel that, which leads to stronger emotion reactions. So they think that it can be used to treat people with depression, to get them to bring up feelings that they might not be able to access otherwise. It's obviously just a new study, and it's lots of theory and whatnot, but
it's interesting right? Like, what is it? Here's another interesting way to look at it. What is it about a song that gets you like that gives you that energy? And part of it is, like, the novelty of hearing the song, not meaning that you don't want to know what the song is about, but you can't hear it too many times or it loses its impact, Like, after a while, a song becomes, like, flat if you hear it too many times in a row.
I've tried to notice when it happens to me, and it more often than not is from a live performance, and I think I'm feeling the emotion the person singing it has a little bit, and I've noticed it's more often like on a real live or that person's first time on TV.
Yeah.
One of those kinds of things. It happens more than just, like, listening to the radio or...
It could probably get annoying, too, if you heard it over and over and over again.
Radio kills music.
Oh, for a lot. Yeah, you remember? Do you remember back in the day when you would hear a song over and over again on the radio? And you'd be like, what the fuck, this song again? You'd actually get annoyed?
If you go to any local radio station, turn on a Rocks channel, you know you're going to hear like one of 3 songs in an hour at least. Like one Metallica song, like Enter Sandman's going to come on once.
Yeah, has to come on.
Mandatory Metallica, you have to.
Yeah. No shit, right? Boy, that's a fucking tough gig because those guys, like, the DJs never got, like, the freedom anymore to go loose. They're just to roll up with a bunch of records and start playing some shit that they like. That's what they used to do, right? Correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
But they always had program managers, right? So the program manager would influence what they would put on.
A little bit, for sure.
Dude, I remember when they would play a record. You could hear the record skip sometimes. Like sometimes it would skip, though. And they would have to, like, go back and, like, we're sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Like, some fucking dude is not paying attention and he's off in the restroom or something like that or getting a cup of coffee while the song's playing and he doesn't realize that it's been skipping. That happened all the time back in the day.
There's a local DJ here in Los Angeles that does that. He plays records, and he's like a real DJ. He's like one of the last guys, I think. I mean, it's been like a year since I've listened to the radio, but he used to be really cool, and you could hear the static of the record, and it was cool. I don't remember what channel that was.
Do you remember that Christian Slater movie where Christian Slater was
up the volume?
He had like a pirate radio station. They were trying to get him. The government was chasing him. It was very almost like Smokey and the Bandit-esque. It was so stupid. The way they're chasing him, like they're trying to get him because he's broadcasting and you can't do that. And, like, you know, it's like he's wild and he's good looking and, you know, he's rebellious.
Wasn't he supposed to be in high school too?
Yeah,
like
he was, something like that.
That was the weird
like
part.
30 years
That was
old.
one of my favorite movies growing up. I don't know what you're talking about. That was a great movie.
It was a great movie. Dude, at the time, it was a great movie, for sure. Well, I'm just saying, like, how weird was it, like, back then? If you had, like, a pirate radio station, you were a rebel, and people would be out there in the woods listening. He's like, hey, if you're hearing me out there, you're still alive. And if you're still alive, you could still kick some ass. You know, like, he'd be giving these fucking corny pump-em-up speeches to all the young kids. They'd be like, yeah, we gotta rise against. Like, all the old people were retarded. None of the old people made any sense. It was the young people that knew that everything was wrong in the system, man.
It's like pre-internet, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude, he had a cordless phone, though.
That's cool. I like Christian Slater. Big fan.
Yeah, that was pre-internet, man.
Yeah.
That was pre-fucking internet.
I forget the movie I watched the other day, and there was no internet, and there was no cell phones, and you forgot. There's like a part of you forgets that, like, because there's like so many scenes where the guy's like, I need to contact Mary, I need to find her,
right?
And then you're like, why don't you just pull out your cell phone, asshole? Right. And you're like, oh wait, there is no cell phones here.
Yeah, when you need to find someone, you had to go look for them. You had to like run around and yell. People would yell a lot. Bobby!
Call places.
Dude, Italians, I remember very clearly when I was a kid, especially like in like the real Italian neighborhoods on the East Coast, people would scream out for people in the street. They would just scream, Donnie! Hey, Donnie! They would just be yelling at the top of their lungs. It was so crazy. People always did that. And then people got answering machines. That was a big one. Do you remember answering machines?
Yeah, I still have one of mine. I would love to hear the messages on that.
Those were crazy.
And you always had to have like the best like outgoing message. So like you put some music behind it, or you pick like your favorite Saturday Night Live skit in the back, or
or like if you're real creative, you had like Tony Montana. Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, mine was the Cheech and Chong parrot at one time. The one that's like hello, hello, or whatever. I forget that.
Yeah, there was always a lot of people trying real hard to be creative. That was like your first social media profile.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Damn.
It was.
Then it turned into like the instant messenger away message, which is
almost
a status update.
And then it was the grossest thing ever invented, ringback tones. You remember the Verizon ringback tones?
Yeah. Yeah, you used to call people up. Sometimes you still call people up and it'll play a song.
Yeah. Oh, I guess they still have it, probably. Why wouldn't
Dana Wright used to have King of Rock. You call him, I'm the King of Rock. There is none higher.
My favorite is when you had...
That's a good move.
You had
if
for
you're
like
gonna have
a year.
Somebody, Run DMC.
You had for a year, I Am Beautiful.
Oh, that beautiful song. Christina Aguilera. No matter what they say, words can't bring me down. Oh, no.
And we would just be in like a normal conversation with like adults, and then suddenly that thing would just blare out.
I always love that song. Good tune.
It's a good song.
I like sometimes I like things, and I don't like that I feel pressure to not like them. You know, I'm like, why? How come I can't like that song? It's a beautiful song. Is it too girly? Is that what it is? Is that what's going on? A lot of prejudice.
That's how I feel with Taylor Swift. I was blaring her new song the other day, and I was at a red light, and I was like, God damn it, I got to roll up my windows.
You go, boy. Sing that shit. Who gives a fuck? It's weird. You got to be scared to sing things out.
I was playing that one Sia song in here after you left one day, and you came back in like, what
the fuck are you doing?
Like,
you panicked.
That song's tight. It's awesome.
It's tight?
Tight.
It's new. It's hot.
Hashtag Black Twitter. It's the hot shit. Yeah, man. I like a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't like.
What's your biggest, latest, guiltiest pleasurist?
I like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I like her music. I like
So you're Team Taylor?
I like Justin Bieber. I like his voice. He's got a beautiful voice.
A couple of his songs are all right.
That kid can sing his fucking ass off.
I heard some people.
If you're into that kind of music,
they're upset right now because Justin Timberlake is rumored, or he's going to be doing vocals on the new Foo Fighters album. But he's just doing like some background. You won't even know it's him, but his name made it out in a blog post or something.
Listen, that guy's not going to do. This is Timberlake?
Yeah.
He's a smart guy. Yeah, he's not going to do anything.
What up,
stupid.
Fred?
If he does do that, he's going to smash it. He wouldn't do it if he didn't think he could smash it. Of course.
Thanks,
He'll just smash
Monique.
Yeah, he's great. I don't know why people shit on him. He's like one of the best, most talented people.
Too handsome, too tall, too pretty, too rich. He dances around. He's too good at dancing. Don't like it. Do not like it. Yeah, guys don't like some handsome fellow who dances real good and sings his ass off. Fuck that. So people are hating. He just gets all the poison. Who dances? Fucking dancer. Can't like dancing too much if you're a dude.
Yeah.
But it's that same thing. The same reason why you're not supposed to like that I Am Beautiful song. It's a goddamn beautiful song. But, you know, people prefer you to
those proportions look great.
You know, enter Sandman.
I think it works.
Which is great, too. It's a balance in this life, right? You want a little Ozzy Osbourne. Every now and then you want a little Sheryl Crow. I like a little Sheryl Crow.
Yeah. I'm Hall & Oates all day. I can't get enough of Hall & Oates.
I can't go for that. Get it? I got you. I got you with one of your own. I can't go for that. No. No can do. Hall & Oates, old school, son.
Oh, yeah. If you want to hear one of the best versions, like there's a band called Bird and the Bee. They're a local band, a woman singer, and they covered all the greatest hits. And, man, her voice is so amazing. And she just brought like life to like those old songs. Like I can't.
What's her name?
It's called Bird and the Bee.
Bird and the Bee.
And it's Hall & Oates' greatest hits or something like that. I highly recommend that. It's on Spotify.
Damn, son. Yeah. They were great. There was a lot of those bands. That was like 70s music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that 70s?
70s, 80s, kind of 80s-ish, more 80s.
Remember Maneater? Whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up.
Oh, here she's a man eater. She's a man.
Yeah, they are. Whenever you can get that sultry side look. Listen, bitch, you knew the camera was on. Why are you looking at me sideways? He right at me. That's a weird look, bro. You gonna hit me? Hey. Let's work this out. Don't hit me. That's like a dude who's hauling back with his right hand about to punch you. Why are you looking at me like this?
Sexy.
Like look at me. Look at me, Brian.
Oh, God.
That's not even as extreme as what he's doing.
I see
He's doing it more like this.
That's tight.
That's like you might be able to take my back, bro.
I love how the fashion is now the fashion that we are dealing with right now.
It's coming back, son.
Yeah, that looks like Josh Martin on the left there wearing his little leopard shirt.
Yeah, Josh Martin is like the pinnacle of fashion for these young kids. He's my litmus test. I find out what's going on in the world. I'm like, are those the new Yeezys? He goes, yeah. I go, yuck.
I hate those Yeezys.
I don't get it.
Hey.
You still into those stupid things?
Loves them.
I have enough of them. I will say that. they need to change it up a little bit. They've been running this model down for 3 years.
One day, history will not be kind to you.
Yeah. You know, all he did is he went to Korea and found one designer. And he's like, hey, I want that.
He also spent whatever. I don't want to get into all this, but he spent some time working as an intern.
Yeah, I don't think you should deny what he's accomplished when it comes to Mr. Yeezy. I just don't enjoy what they look like.
I don't like his tilted stage.
I just don't like what they look like.
They're comfortable as all hell.
I bet they are.
So.
I bet they are.
Half of what it's about.
Maybe not. If it is half of what it's about, yeah, I think half of it is about to have Yeezys.
Well, you mean the Yeezys? Yeah.
Half of it is
that's
the
like
name.
95% of the
95?
Yeah.
95. Okay.
There's more comfortable shoes out there.
100%. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's also like a Rolex. Why would you get a Rolex when you could have a movement watch? You know what I mean? It's
totally.
Or any other watch. It's a $25,000 watch or a $200 watch. You know?
Exactly.
It still tells time.
It's some sort of arm candy. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a
foot candy.
A bracelet.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Jewelry.
Yeah, it's jewelry. Mm-hmm. It's watch jewelry. Like those watches that Floyd Mayweather has. Those crazy watches. And that $500,000 watch that he had. That's arm jewelry. That's not really a watch. Like, you're not trying to. This watch costs like $150.
That's a cool watch. What kind is that?
Casio.
Casio.
What about it's a good watch.
Every time I wear a watch, I just.
Prince?
Wow.
What?
Freddie Mercury little arm bracelet.
I'm sorry.
Too. I was pulling this up. I just saw.
What is it?
This is the new guy that's going to play Freddie Mercury in the biopic. This is the guy from Mr. Robot. That USA show.
Damn.
Rami Malek.
Oh my God, it is him.
He looks amazing.
Yeah,
it's great.
Looks just like him.
That song, Dragon Attack, the Queen song, Dragon Attack. You know that song? That's my freeze song. That's my song when I go into freeze. I just listen to Dragon Attack.
Have you made yourself to the max, gotten to your max, like you're not allowed to go any longer in the freeze thing? Is that how it starts?
They don't really like you going in more than 3 minutes.
Right.
3 minutes is pretty much the max. So I go in 3 minutes, then I wait out for 10 minutes, and then I go in for another 3 minutes.
Animal.
Dude, it feels good. You get out of there, you feel so good.
Like when you pee, does it come out like a slushy? Is it a little icy or something different?
No,
does it do anything different?
No, it does is it makes your body produce a lot of anti-inflammatories, like cold shock proteins. They're called cytokines. Your body produces them when it freaks the fuck out and thinks it's going to die.
It's gotten so popular.
Cold. Oh, dude, if you feel amazing, it really feels amazing when you come out of there. Like you feel like... Dr. Rhonda Patrick explained it scientifically when she did a podcast about it, and she was talking about the increased anti-inflammatory markers in the blood, I think it was, and the other thing was that your norepinephrine, I think that's how you say it, brain chemicals spike, and it's a lot of it is just dealing with the fact that your body's been thrust into this insane environment. Like I guess there's a way. I mean, it's like. You know, we were talking about the placebo effect, right? Like there's a way through just thinking about something, you can get your mind to operate in a way where it fixes your body, right? And that there's sort of something similar to in this respect, that like your brain and your thoughts, for something like a placebo effect or something like really trying to figure out how you interface with stuff. I really do think that there's more to, like, how we go, like, this idea that, like, there's a simulation theory that you keep bringing up, a lot of people keep bringing up. I think we interface with reality different than we ever did before. Just slightly different. Just slightly. I think that, like, all the different ways you can hack your system, whether it's through, like, cold shock proteins from doing that, or heat shock proteins from doing a sauna, or even placebo effects. Like, it might be good to get tricked. It might be like, that's like probably like half of the reason why religion does a lot of people good. Because if you fucking believe, if you really believe that Jesus is real, and you read all the tenets of the Bible and you go, wow, this is fucking, what a great way to live your life. Like, whoa, you get almost like a bit of a placebo effect. And you could say, look, it works. It's real. And it's like the same way you could say sugar pills are real, right? If you give a guy a placebo sugar pill, it does nothing really, but all of a sudden it fixes whatever ailment he had. It's all connected, man. We can do shit with our brains. And we can do shit with our bodies. And that Wim Hof guy's living proof of that. You ever pay attention to him?
No.
Dude, I've had him on a couple times. You got to check out his shit. This guy does marathons in his underwear. He runs to the top of Everest. In a pair of shorts with ice, like, flip-flops on. He has, like, sandals on. I'm not bullshitting.
What the fuck?
Summits Everest. He says it's easy.
Wow.
Yeah, he does, like, he runs barefoot in the snow. He does marathons. And all just by controlling his breathing and controlling his mind. He's a real freak, man. Fascinating cat. Was like a yoga teacher most of his life. went through a bunch of hardships and really started realizing that by jumping in cold water and controlling his breathing, like he really sort of changed his reality. And he does it all the time. This guy goes into glacial waters.
So wait, isn't like frostbite and like physical things real? Like,
yeah, I think it is, but I think your body, first of all, develops tolerances for stuff. And I noticed that just from doing the cryo chamber. Like, if I don't do it for a few... Look at him out there doing yoga barefoot in the snow on the top of a fucking mountain. Is there a more badass photo ever taken? Look at that.
That's pretty sweet.
That's amazing.
But like, what about hyperthermia and all that crap?
This is what I'm saying. I think your body adapts, because when you do... if you do like cryotherapy and you've never done it before, the first time you do it, you're like, holy shit. Like, the first time they do it, they won't let you do more than a minute and a half. They want you to go, oh my God, like, what is this? And if you take some time off and you get back in there, like if you haven't gone in a few months, and then you go back in there, you do feel way cold. But if I go like 3 days in a row, I can just get right in there and stand there. And it doesn't even freak me out. It doesn't, I'm just used to it. I know what it is. My body's adapted to it. My body's like accustomed to it. Now imagine like how people live that are living in like Northeast Alaska, or like living in places where they hunt seals and shit. The Inuits, they don't even get frostbite, man. Like, their hands can be out and exposed in ridiculous cold. They just don't get the same sort of issues with it that we do. Like, their bodies have adapted.
It's weird.
It's fuck. I think your mind can make your body do a lot of shit it doesn't want to do. And your mind can do it by forcing yourself into extreme physical conditions, like a cryo chamber or like a sauna. Sauna is amazing for you, apparently. What that Rhonda Patrick lady was saying, Dr. Rhonda Patrick was saying, was that there is a 40% decrease in mortality across all causes, from everything that gets like heart attacks, strokes, cancer. 40% decrease in mortality across everything just from doing sauna like 4 times a week. Apparently it's just fucking phenomenal for your body. Just sit there and just heat up, and it just fires your system up. You know, all those heat shock proteins, they just act as an anti-inflammatory for your body. Your joints feel better, things move better. So you get out of there, too, and you cool off, and you feel way better. It's just, I think there's a bunch of resources like that we don't take advantage of enough. And I think everybody should be sauning all the time.
I'm just traumatized from being a child and going with my dad and seeing all those dicks and balls every
Yeah, you shouldn't have looked. He told you not to look. You shouldn't have looked. You know, I think there's a lot of negative connotation towards sauna in MMA, because a lot of people think of a sauna as like a place where people go to cut weight, like a real painful process to cut weight so they can make a weight class, which is true. They do use it for that, but that's not the only use for the sauna. Like, you shouldn't just be using the sauna for that. You should be using the sauna for health. We should use it all the time. I think it's a gigantic, important step in like body maintenance. It's like a bunch of shit you have to do for body maintenance. I think that's one.
Has there been any news updates on the John Jones situation?
No, I haven't heard nothing.
That's so disappointing.
So makes me sad.
Red Band insights on this one?
Yeah, that's right. You called the dick pills. Bro, I would just like to say, for the record, Brian Redband completely called the dick pill thing. If I paraphrase, you were like, let me say, he parties, he does coke, he probably took some dick pills. And I was like, what? Jesus Christ, it made so much sense. It was like, how it was there right along the whole time.
I just remember the FDA.gov had breakdowns of certain like Rhino dick pills at gas stations, and a lot of them had steroid type things in them.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up.
He's so crazy. He was taking that stuff.
He's still taking them.
Well, now I bet he would. I mean, now he's like, fuck it, I'll just take everything.
You could get addicted to him. I was addicted to him for a while. I don't know why.
I don't think he's addicted to it. The new thing that he tested positive for has nothing to do with that. They said that the new thing that he tested positive for is a steroid that they only test for in urine. And according to Chael Sonnen, it's like it's not a very common steroid, and it's actually kind of old school. It's like something they used to do a long time ago. So his thought was that if somebody is getting him to do that if that's not a tainted supplement, if someone's getting him to do that, that person knows their shit. Like that's some sneaky steroids.
Wow.
Yeah, and he said it's usually combined with other things.
Sounds so unfortunate, man.
I don't know if it's true.
Right.
He could have got sabotaged.
What's he saying? Is he saying
no? One's saying anything. There's no official statement, I don't think. Like, because I think they're trying to test other samples. They tested a blood sample, and then they released the results of the blood sample. They always do a blood and a urine. The blood sample was negative, but the blood sample didn't test for that stuff. So I don't, you could speculate all day long. I'm sure as the facts come in, we'll get a better understanding of it. But it would be the most disappointing thing ever if someone spiked his shit. It'd almost be less disappointing if he took something and got caught than it would be if somebody tainted him.
That's why I'm saying it. Like, he knows his past. It just seems ridiculous to think that he would even try, even if it's old school or stuff they barely tested. Like, it seems like, why would he even risk that? Because he already went
totally
through that.
You're right, but being a cage fighter is a ridiculous way to make a living.
Yeah.
And people who are cage fighters, especially like elite level, like a guy like John Jones, that guy has like probably a belief in himself that you and I will never understand, and completely impulsive in like what he decides. So he's a wild motherfucker. That's why he's so good, because he's smart and he's wild. Like he's like legitimately wild. Takes wild chances. Like I always talk about, like when he fought Shogun for the title. When he fought Shogun for the title, he opened up the fight with a flying knee. That was the first thing he did. Fighting a legend, fighting a UFC light heavyweight champion. I mean, he was crazy talented and still is, right? I mean, he's only 30, but he's a wild man. And wild men sometimes do shit that they don't even know why they're doing it. They're just doing it, And if you're a guy that's that powerful as a guy like John Jones, like, try controlling him. Good luck. Good luck telling him he can't go out. Good luck telling him what he's got to do. It's one of the things about him in the past is that he hasn't trained hard for fights. And they were way harder fights than they should have been, probably, because he really wasn't in shape. And everyone around him kind of knew it, but he was that good that he could fight world-class title challengers and beat them in 5-round fights without really training. Like, that's how goddamn good that guy is. So you and I, we don't know how his brain even works. So who knows what the fuck happened? I hope he didn't do something, but then again, that means that one of two things happened. Either he took a tainted supplement, which is after a while almost becomes a joke.
Right.
Like people keep saying that. Hey, stop taking supplements. Or even worse, is someone spiked him.
Yeah, the spiking thing, because it would seem like
that would be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. You could do that to somebody, though, for sure. I mean, if somebody is around someone with nefarious intentions, or someone's around someone who's resentful, and you're in some sort of pro-fight camp, and someone just decides, fuck this guy, and just dump some stuff on your chicken.
Steroid cream in your hand cream?
I think there's things they could do to get it into your system. You probably wouldn't even know.
Alrighty, so I think it's going to be it for the, or for at least for the stream. I want to come back and see how this was going, if it was streaming well. There's a few different things that you got to do for the Facebook stream, but got help with that. And thanks for watching. I should be doing these more regularly in the future, but yeah, I just want to get my Sculpt Timber on. Definitely check us out at the Zbrush Hangout Room, ZB-Ho Room. If you don't know what that is, where that is, just hit me up and I will let you know. Hope you enjoyed the stream and listening to Bill Burr and Joe Rogan. And my name's Spicer McLeroy. You can find me anywhere under Shotgun Scream, and I do need some friends on Twitter. So help me out. Look me up on Twitter, Shotgun Scream. All right, so I will see y'all later.